Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, evening, morning. I don't know where you are, but we are so excited for you to be listening to the amazing things that we have to share about our AO scan technology. We are never making any kind of claims. We're just sharing information. We're sharing our personal experiences, and we have something that can empower every single household. And so we are passionate about sharing why and how and the ability to save time, money, and stress. This is like the most passionate thing I've ever experienced in my life. We are in year 4 of sharing every week our testimonies about this technology. And we just started a little conversation right before I started the recording that I want us to expand upon because a lot of us are in this season, and if not right now, will be or have been, and expectations and all of that. This is going to be a really great call. Even though our numbers might be a little small today, that's okay. We know everybody's busy and life happens, just like what we were talking about. Last week, I was taken out because my family needed some help, and that's what we do. We have to take off and we go do what we need to do. So, I just want to, if you don't know who I am, if you're watching on replay, I'm Dr. Sheila and the founder of the Wow Wellness with Solex team. Because we are experiencing wow every single week when we get on this call, and I didn't know what else to call it except wow. Seriously. So, Martina from Germany was just explaining this situation that her family is going through with her father. It's difficult time, but it is part of life, isn't it? And I was sharing how I'm one of those people that I think we should be able to reverse everything and we should live forever. That's just how I see the world. And it's really not practical, is it? Because we live in a human body that is physical and it only has a certain ability. You know, back in biblical times where people were living to 8 and 900, I can't even imagine that. But it's not possible because of what we've done to the planet since then, what we've done to our environment. Our bodies just can't live that long anymore. So we are trying to increase the health of our life, regardless of how many days we have. We want them to be vibrant and full of life instead of all crippled up and, diseased and miserable. So that's what we focus on. So I was just thinking as we were sharing that, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in, well, I've got this really great technology and I'm using it all the time. How come I couldn't keep them from dying? Or how come I couldn't keep their body from deteriorating? And we only have a certain amount of impact. And Martina was so great to remind me of the impact and why we need to consider what we can do in these times that we don't have a lot of control over. So, Martina, I'm just going to hand it over to you to share what you were
Yeah.
going to share.
Okay. Well, I must start from 3 years before because that's when I started with the AO scan. And this year I'm 40 years a registered nurse. So I've been my whole life looking for other possibilities to support myself and my family. So I'm very grateful because the last time my dad now was transferred to the hospital on Wednesday, in really calm, and it was a process because I felt he didn't want to go, and I already felt he was not doing well. I can sense in people when there's time to go. I can really that's something I can, and I just supported him. I stayed with him. I stayed up 3 nights to looking if he was still breathing because he had collected so much water, and um with the AO scan and everything we was able to cope. I mean, to just get to the point where he said, "Yes, I will go to the hospital." We had to call the emergency, but everything was calm. And as weak as he was, he took his shower. He put on some nice clothes. His shoes had to be cleaned. We packed the suitcase together. We talked to the people from emergency so they wouldn't think we just call a taxi. And everything. Yes, I prepared everything with my dad step by step. I looked um the day before that we had so much snow, I wouldn't have called the ambulance. So I had the AO scan. I felt safe. And I was able to show him pictures on the AO scan for the first time in all them years. But 3 years ago, that was the last time he was in a hospital. Since then, and he has a very big heart problem. He loves life. He did love his alcohol in the evenings. He always had company from our neighbors. We have such a beautiful neighborhood. He was never alone after my mom died. He was always such a loving, great father, and he still is grandfather and great grandfather. And he would do so much. He would do everything for us. So since we live in the same house, he was lucky that his youngest daughter, me, is a nurse, and everyone's just over here. We just happy to have such good neighbors. So I was always able to support him, and so he didn't have to go to the hospital for 3 years. And the doctors told us how serious his heart condition is, but he couldn't stop his drinking. He only drank in the evening, um, and he just enjoyed life. So from Christmas on, I could see he was not doing well. He had his 87th birthday, the 15th of January, and after that, I could see it's going downwards. But to have the AO scan and still now he in the hospital, to run a scan for him, to put on all the playlists he need to calm down, to feel loved, and all that. Let me tell you, for some reason, his left knee, he can't move his left knee for leg for a while. It was swollen. I had it in the scan. Today was the first time I was able to move it. So, um, me and my sister know it is the process of really going into another world. But step by step, I feel so good to have the AO scan. And this is just such a beautiful gift we have, and I'm just very grateful. Of course, my heart is sad because I'm losing a loved one. We don't know when, but we will. We all can feel it. But until then, I'm still able to take care of him, to send him good frequencies because of it, for his soul, for whatever needs to be corrected. I don't know. I just don't worry about it. I just go by my intuition. And I think I'm so thankful, and I'm so thankful for Lauren that he gave us this great possibility, and I'm just thankful. Tonight, I'm thankful, and I came into the call because I felt I had to be in here to share that.
Amen. I loud and clear. And so for those that might be watching that don't understand what you're saying by I have the AO scan and I ran a scan and how this is actually helping, do you want to share more about if you were talking to someone who didn't know what AO scan was, how would you explain how this has really made this process easier to go through than if you didn't have it?
Well, I would like to explain to them that this is a tool that we work with scalar waves and frequencies, and that it does support the body, the physical body, the spiritual body, and that it will optimize whatever the body, the spiritual body, emotional body needs at that moment, you know, and that we don't even have to put any thoughts in it. We just run the scan, and then we have playlists where we can send certain frequencies for supporting.
Yeah.
And in order, if someone would like to know how that works, they need to come to my house or anyone's house, and I will show them an AO scan. And it's just a wonderful, it's just like a prayer. It's like a good wish. This is all frequency.
Yeah.
Just that we have something like this on an app.
Yeah.
And this is just wonderful because you don't have to be a doctor to use it.
Exactly. And I love that. And like, I know for me, I live in a really rural area. I wouldn't be able to reach enough people if I just focused on people coming to my house. So I love that we have Zoom like we're on right now because I can meet with people all over the world and give them this experience because you don't have to be hands on. It is dealing with frequency. Just like if you were praying for someone, you're sending positive energy towards them and they receive that. And if you're cursing someone, they're going to receive those awful frequencies. So we've been told not to do that, but that's all it is. And the fact that this scanner has so much capabilities, you literally can send the frequency of peace and calming or joy or, especially when somebody is transitioning in life, giving them the blessing of a peaceful transition instead of fear and those things that can happen. How many people do you think pass in fear? That's a horrible thing. I can't bear to think of that. And yet we have so many testimonies, don't we, of family members who have shared the AO scan and blessed their family with peaceful, calming, soothing frequencies so they can pass at peace without the fear and all of those things. Now, that's something that to me is just such a blessing because it's a difficult time in life. It's not something we can avoid, but we can change the way we go through it, can't we? We can have an impact there.
And I can tell this right away from my dad because he did Friday all the grandkids was there because it was very serious then. And they was about to have we have carnival time in Germany. And he looked at my daughter and my nephew and he said, you know what? If something happens to me tonight, don't tell nobody, you go celebrate.
Oh,
So talking about frequencies, because I've been working with frequencies every day for 3 years.
yeah, that's
That
amazing.
does change a person. And
Yes.
when I feel he comes into fears and he had a couple of days, I just know what to do, you know. And I think this is really great.
Yeah. What a blessing. I just, when I talk about AO scan, all I can think about, the top thing in my mind is it saves you so much time, money, and stress. It just saves you in every area. It adds to the quality of life. Because we get a choice. We can't choose the things that happen, but we can choose the way we go through them. And with a tool like AO scan, wow, we can really get through things a whole lot differently than without it, right? And just being able to scan the body and optimize all those areas that are so out of balance, maybe we can't avoid death, but we can certainly make it a much more pleasant experience. And the days that we have leading up to it can certainly be more full of life and joy than dread and fear and all of those things, right? Ooh, that's amazing. I really hope that this reaches people that need to hear about this right now because it's just something we can't avoid, but we can make it a more pleasant experience. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Diana, do you have anything to share today?
Hi, Sheila. Hi,
Hello.
Martina. Yes, I do. My granddaughter was due to have surgery last Friday. She's 5. She had her adenoids, tonsils removed, and grommets fitted because she'd had lots of issues in that area. And so I did her a playlist for, peace, calm, repair, etc. before the operation. And to the hospital's amazement, she had the surgery about 11 o'clock in the morning. And by the time she came round in the afternoon, she wanted to eat, she wanted to have a drink, and she was
Oh
home by that evening.
my
Um,
gosh.
and she's, um, I wouldn't say she was hugely robust as a child. And the parents were really thinking she'd be in there for at least an overnight stay and maybe 2 nights. So
Yeah.
we were all prepared, to help. But to think that she was up and out that same day was quite incredible. And she came round today and she's doing really, really well. You wouldn't know she'd had surgery. It's
That
quite
is
incredible.
That is incredible. That's amazing
Yeah.
because that's a lot. I mean, I've heard of people having either their tonsils out or their
Yeah.
adenoids out, not usually both together. That's a
Yes.
lot, especially for
Yeah.
a not so robust child.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I'm still doing the playlist. Obviously, I will for another week or so
Yeah.
just to get her through this. But yeah, I saw her today and I was really, really impressed with how well she's doing. So yes,
That is amazing. And how lucky she is that you have access to a resource that can support
yeah,
her so
yeah,
powerfully. And then
yeah.
somebody will say, well, can you prove that that happened? Well, it's like, we can't prove it, but we know the situation. And so we know what happened.
It's lived experience, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're not making any claims. We're just sharing our experience.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's amazing. Oh, she's so blessed to have you.
Yeah, we're very lucky. Very lucky.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you so much. Was that Joni I saw on the iPhone? She might be busy just listening in, and sometimes we listen in while we're busy and we can't really be on screen or talk, but we still like to hear everybody else. And we do have a small crowd today. And that's perfectly fine because just these two stories that we've had are really powerful and can bring inspiration to someone else who is looking for something to help empower them, to help themselves or maybe other people. So thank you so much for sharing these stories with us. And there she is. Oh,
This
there you
is
go.
Peg.
Sorry, thank you. Do you have any stories for us?
I do. When I was a kid, I used to swim in the ocean like a fish. My mother would have to drag me out because my lips were blue. But one time I wasn't prepared. I got hit by a wave so hard it made my ear bleed.
Oh my God.
So I've had problems with that ear forever. So this morning when I woke up and the ear it felt like it was full of fluid. I decided instead of using a playlist for an earache, which works very good, after listening to Nadia talk about using the wand, I have some nano-sized iodine. So I put some of the iodine in and let it sit. And then I wanded it on the first heat setting for about 2 minutes and no problems. So
Wow.
I have the choice of using the frequencies, and I thought I should learn how to use my wand a little bit better
Yeah.
often. So I could not believe how fast, just a couple minutes. And the ear feels fine for now the whole day, no problems. So
That's amazing. And that's another one of those wows. Now, for those that don't know what the wand is, we're talking about terahertz, which is also a frequency. And terahertz is what is in our infinity wand, along with what is it, gold and silver ionic exchange, and seven semi precious stones that we have the frequencies of those, and the true red and blue lights for the different things that red light therapy and blue light therapy offer, all in one resource. And so our infinity wand is powerful. It's like no other terahertz wand that's been marketed yet. Lauren went above and beyond what anybody else is doing. Now, terahertz, for those of you that don't know, is the frequency of a normal, healthy human cell, a perfect human cell in perfect health. It's also the frequency of the planet Earth. So we resonate with that frequency. It's a non-ionizing frequency. It's right in the middle of the frequency spectrum where you've got like your infrared frequencies over here, the healing frequencies from the sun, and then over here you've got your harmful radiations like microwaves and cell phones and all those things. Terahertz is right in the middle. It's non-ionizing, it's neutral, it can't hurt anybody, but it literally brings life back to the cell. It also can be used for clearing blockages in the body, whether it's a lymphatic situation or a cardiovascular circulatory situation, or it could be emotional blockages, energetic blockages. Terahertz is one of the fastest frequencies I've ever seen work. So while we do have the frequencies in our AO scan, terahertz by itself is it's something that's difficult to put it all into words because it's that phenomenal. We have seen people that have reversed paralysis from strokes or car wrecks just using that terahertz wand, being faithful with that, and they gained function back. And this is like many people. Also avoiding bypass surgery from blockages in the arteries. We can clear those blockages with the terahertz frequencies. There's so much that terahertz does. So I am really grateful that you heard someone talk about how to support this situation that you have, because I can only imagine how uncomfortable that's been. So I'm so grateful that you had the wand and that someone told you how to use it for that. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
yes, thank Nadia for going on and doing her demonstrations on how to use the wand. Because
Yes.
never put it together until she did the figure 8 up the nose,
Yep.
the ears. I'm like, oh, I never thought of using the wand on my ear. I always just went to the frequencies.
Yeah.
So that was an experiment this morning and it worked out fabulous.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I love the figure 8 around the eyes to help reset the nervous system. And if you're getting, sneezes and the itchiness and the scratchy throat and all that, up the nose and the ears, down the throat. Oh my goodness, it's so good at helping to clear all of that out. It's just amazing. Now, it's not magic. It doesn't just like fix things like that. But what it does is it gives the cells what they need to take care of things a whole lot faster. So it's just wow. Martina, you have a question or you have something?
I just would like to add that I've been using the tarot heads and I have been using it on my dad. I can just, I'm happy that you mentioned it because I love the tarot heads. I've been using it for my face. I've been using it for the last 4 years. So, and my dad always loved it too. So that was a support as well.
Yeah. I have so many testimonials with the terahertz, so I could go on for hours. But one I was thinking of, a friend of mine, when we started getting into terahertz several years back, I had lost touch with her. We hadn't talked. She'd moved and changed life and all kinds of things happened. And I saw her. She contacted me like a year later. She looked like a completely different person. She had lost a ton of weight. Her face looked like she had some kind of surgery for age reversal or something. She just looked very young. Her hair that was very gray and kind of dull looking it wasn't like completely black, but she had color back and it just looked healthy. And I said, what have you been doing? She said, just my terahertz. She says, I wand my stomach, I wand my face every day. And I was like, it completely changed her. It was amazing. That is great information. Okay, well, we've still got a few minutes if you have anything else you'd like to share.
Yeah, Sheila, talking about the wand, I use it to dry my hair every
Yes.
day or every other day, and it's got more colour. So I was nearly this colour,
Yeah,
and now it's going to this colour.
that's
I kid you
amazing.
not, it's changing colour, yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
We've had so many testimonials about that. It seems hard to believe, doesn't it? You're
yeah.
like, yeah, right. But I mean, when you've got
It's
multiple people,
re-stimulating the cells again, isn't it?
it is. It's because it's putting life energy back into the cells that's been depleted of life energy. And that's, what happens with our hair, our skin, our joints, our organs. That energy gets depleted in the cells and we lose life force energy. Terahertz puts it back in there. Isn't that amazing? We are so lucky. Oh my gosh, this has been a really powerful call and lots of wows. So I want to thank you for showing up today because we can't do this call without participation. So thank you for coming and sharing these stories because these are going to impact so many other people. When they see this, they're going to go, oh my gosh, I need to know more. Yes? So if you are watching this, please, if you've seen someone on the call that resonates with you, please, if you can connect with them on Facebook or social media somewhere, if you can track them down. If you can't track them down, just send an email to wowwellnesswithsolex@gmail.com. Give me their name and I will get you connected with them. Because we want to empower you too. We want you empowered. We want you having a more blessed life, a more vital life, and the tools to do it with. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing more next week.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Sheila. Take care. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.